When I was 9, I believed I had an idea that no one has ever thought of before. I would create this animated TV show where me and my friends and I would travel the world and train these fantasy creatures to battle, so one of us could be crowned the champion. An idea that was a clear knockoff of Pokemon at the time became my obsession for months. And when I finally finished that first 3-minute episode, titled Ultra Bryan, I was proud and excited of the thing that I created. However, when I made this animated episode, it was made by me drawing out each frame one by one. Surprisingly, I wasn't the best drawer in the world, but my sister was a god. And when your sister does something better than you, you should never do that one thing again. However, what I could do was code. I actually coded all the animations for Ultra Bryan on a scratch named Sight. So, I remember spending hours trying to perfect the code, trying to perfect the animations. But my passion did not end there. It started with more long-awaited episodes of Ultra Bryan and my first game on Unity, Doing the Dust, following a cowboy named Carter as he explored the region, trying to take his money back from the people who stole it from him. As the projects got more complicated, the mindset never left. It just evolved. During my first software engineering internship, I coded an AI model for a robot arm that would detect motors on a platform and pick them up and load it in. So some poor worker doesn't have to spend their time picking up hundreds and thousands of them at a time. It wasn't the code or robotics that made me proud of this project. It was the creative solution that came with it for this problem in the company. However, as I saw more people in my major, through college, through all of this, I started to realize that I was in the minority with such a viewpoint. There has been a recent trend among college campuses and even on social media of STEM majors looking down or shunning away their more creative or artsy side. You've probably seen this before. So you just go on TikTok or Instagram, and then you see STEM majors just showing off their relentless schedules or their back-to-back midterms of topics like physics. Or if you see a video of an art major showing off her amazing work, and then you scroll to the comments, and you see the sentiments like, future Starbucks barista. In a way, I understand, as a data science major myself. Our major feels so important and is very important. It's the major that guides medical discoveries. It lands man on the moon. It launches satellites into orbit. However, if we only believe that STEM only allows for logic without any creativity in it, innovation would stop. Although this mindset may get many through their education or long-term jobs just fine, but it is still dangerous for our future if we keep this up. Our world is literally threatened by an asteroid at this moment, proving the need for innovation now more than ever. Innovation only comes when logic and creativity are able to work hand in hand. Even if we look back on some of the history's most transformative inventions, the Wright brothers, they were credited to be the first to create a working airplane. They were not the most elite engineers in the world, no. They were simple bike shop owners in Ohio. They were able to creatively utilize their knowledge of bikes and transform it into something far greater. Even look into someone like Steve Jobs, one of the founders of Apple, one of the most successful tech companies in the world. What he did wasn't create new algorithms for Apple. He didn't solder new boards. Actually, Apple was actually behind a lot of phone companies when it comes to technological advancements. But what Steve Jobs managed to do was be able to be creative. He made new fonts, he made new designs, and from that, he was able to create a user experience that many phones did not offer at the time. These stories show us that creativity is not just a luxury in STEM, it is a requirement. And in our education, we are taught to improve upon efficiency and not imagination. This is dangerous. So if we continue down this path, I like to look back on my 9-year-old self. If he believed that coding was only for logic, and if he believed creativity was purely childish, he would have never made Ultra Bryan. He would have never made Doing the Dust, and he would have never made that robotic arm. And some poor worker out there is still loading the motors into the trays. So to anyone in STEM, please do not let loose your creative side. Because the future won't just be built by those who can solve problems. It would be built by those who dare to imagine new ones.